All right. So I'll do this into a buy or sell just because I think it needs it. CNN decided to host a town hall with Donald Trump. Predictably. Is it really even fair to say went off the rails? It just went Trump. It was Donald Trump doing what Trump does. As if anyone didn't know it was going to go that way. Come on. But I'll say it to work through the bit. Predictably, it went off the rails. I'm going to say predictably, he was Donald Trump. He's the same every single time with the same acts every single time. You know exactly what you're going to get. CNN is getting blowback for even having the event. It was in New Hampshire, state of about 4,000 people. 3,800 of them are Republicans, and 40 of them showed up in flannel shirts and clapped for him. Okay. Does CNN deserve blowback for having him on? I don't know that I agree with that. CNN doesn't have a heck of a lot else. He's a good train wreck of a draw. He's a Springer show. Poor Jerry. So I'm not sure I disagree. I disagree with the blowback that CNN is getting. I don't disagree when people say, oh my gosh, he was out of control. What are you talking about? Where have you been? He was exactly what he always is. He just lies. That's it. He's Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver. The Trump part of this to me is even more interesting. We all know, sensible people know his act. Sensible people know exactly what you're going to get. Caitlin Collins, who hosted it, knew exactly what she was going to get. CNN did too. The question is, here's the way I'll frame this, and then I'll turn it into a buy or sell. Was it a mistake? I was about to say dumber. Was it a mistake for CNN to go here? Or, I'm not kidding when I ask this question, because this part I do think matters. Was it a bigger mistake or dumber for Trump to go here? Okay? I know that sounds kind of crazy. Let me turn it into buy or sell, just so we can do that thing where people call you a dumbass. It was dumber for CNN to host the town hall with Trump. Buy or sell?
Buy or sell? Are you buying or freaking selling? Make up your mind, dumbass.
There it is. There. I did it. Okay. Probably dumber for him. I mean, I'm not kidding. I think it's probably dumber for him. But it's a wash. Like, everybody got out of it exactly what they wanted to get out of it. CNN got the, I guess, an uptick in ratings. I guess that'll make Trump happy. I guess it was better than usual, which is virtually non-existent in prime time. So CNN got a bump. CNN got the shock value. CNN got to have the knucklehead. And if you're offended by this, I don't really care. He's a knucklehead. So CNN got out of what they want. Trump, on the other hand, I don't think so. I don't. That's where I think this is interesting. Let me set it up this way. You can disagree all you want. Somebody on Team Trump. Now, there's two ways of looking at it. He did this just to get back at Fox. Meh. I think there might be somebody on Team Trump. Maybe one of his neck-bearded sons thought, and I'm going to think for them, and it's going to be kind of crazy. So here I'm going to pretend to be one of the neck-bearded sons. Do the town hall. Even if you win over a few educated female votes, it's a plus. Everyone's just, I'm thinking for the neckbeards here. Everyone's already decided. I mean, the election is decided. You've decided. Everyone's decided. It's either you're for Trump or not Trump. That's it. That's the election. Sorry, Joe. It's the election. Not Trump or Trump. Got it. But the thinking could have been, and I actually think this isn't that far out, which I think they actually had some skin in the game here and had a strategy. I think the strategy might have been, most reasonable women are not going to vote for you. Got it. But if you went on CNN and it were hosted by Caitlin Collins, a 30-something reporter who's good at what she does, who is probably well-liked and has a very pleasant face. You go on there and you do pretty well, Dad. Well, as in, you don't act like a fool. You might win over a few female votes. Any additional educated female vote is a plus. I suspect they might have looked at it that way. I'm not kidding when I say it. I'm not even sure it was a terrible idea. Listen, you might as well try. Okay, true. You're gonna offend. Your mere existence is offensive to most women. But if you were able to win over a few, that's a plus. That's what I think the thinking was. So in that regard, I would say it was a bigger mistake, a bigger loss for Team Trump than it was for CNN. CNN wanted the shock value. CNN wanted to showcase her being tough. They wanted to showcase her asking the questions most normal people would ask. They got out of it probably all they could. It's essentially life support anyway, outside of their digital news they post. Okay, it's just not going to draw. So they threw the chum in the water. So, of course, then Team Trump here, my analysis on Team Trump, the neck-bearded sons trying to decide this, trying to work this out, it had train wreck written all over it. It was going to do just the opposite. Again, not the neckbeards, but any normal thinking person would realize he would have screwed it up before the civil case of sexual assault. But having it one day after the civil assault case, you had to know if by some weird stretch of the imagination, some educated middle-aged female said, you know what, I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Let's just pretend. The day after sexual assault case, she's not going to be too open-minded to hear him, and he's going to screw it up by being a jackass. So whatever hope you may have had, neckbeards, to win over an educated female somewhere out there, even if you got one of them to vote for you, would have been a plus. You pretty much blew it just by being found guilty of sexual assault the day before. And then we know once you're found guilty of sexual assault the day before, we know once somebody says it to you, he's going to go Trump. And he did. It went just how you would think normally and just how you think it would go the day after being found guilty in a civil case over sexual assault.
You did not testify in person in this trial. There was a tape deposition of you from October in it. You defended the comments that you made on that Access Hollywood tape about being able to grab women how you want. Do you stand by those comments?
I said if you're famous and rich or whatever I said, but I said if you're a star, you are, and I said, women let you. I didn't say you grab. I said women let. You didn't use that word. But if you look, women let you. Now, they said, will you take that back? I said, look, for a million years, this is the way it's been. I want to be honest. This is the way it's been. I can take it back if you'd like to, but if you're a famous person, if you're a star, and I'm not referring to myself, I'm saying people that are famous, people that are
stars,
you were asked in the deposition,
people that are rich, to be a star,
people that are powerful, yes. They tend to do pretty well in a lot of different ways, okay? And you would like me to take that back? I can't take it back because it happens to be true. I said it's been true for 1 million years, approximately 1 million years, perhaps a little bit longer than that.
So you stand by those comments?
Well, I don't want to lie.
Mr. President,
here's what she wants me to say.
Let's get to the
rich and
audience
famous
questions
person
tonight.
has no advantage over anyone else. Well, you do have an advantage. And I say unfortunately, but that's the way it is.
You said...
You see my point? If there was like somebody going, hang on, let me try tonight. I'm going to try. And there's this educated 45-year-old woman, about 35 seconds, not even 35, what am I saying? 8 seconds into that, you said, oh my God, I'm out. I can't stand that guy. He's every woman's nightmare for 1 million years. Yeah, well, then you got the usual bit. It was all rigged. Shut your face, it was rigged.
Why should Americans put you back in the White House?
Because we did fantastically. We got 12 million more votes than we had in, as you know, in 2016. I actually say we did far better in that election. Got the most that anybody's ever gotten as a sitting president of the United States. I think that when you look at that result and when you look at what happened during that election, unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. A lot of the people in this audience, and maybe a couple that don't, but most people understand what happened. That was a rigged election.
It's been a while for me since I've listened to him. Are you not bothered by the crowd? You do realize that is it, right? That's it. That's why that's why they'll vote for him. That laughing. That's it. That's it. He never once will respond with any policy whatsoever. I know what you're going to do. You're going to, well, but Joe, I'm not talking about him. What I'm saying is him giving at best, nonsensical answers that have nothing to do with any single policy. Not one single policy. You can't even serve it on a platter for this lunatic. Sorry. He couldn't say anything about, his trade stuff is garbage, by the way, and I'd argue the trade issues any day, anytime, anywhere. Protectionism doesn't work. But he doesn't even say that stuff. The reason why those people, 37% of the country will vote for him, is they were laughing. They like that. That's it. There's nothing else. You couldn't stop those people. Say, if you had to create a focus group, say everyone just freeze for a second. Why would you vote? Did he give you a policy you care about? And they're going to say, I don't care. I'm laughing. And I like it. I just like it. He's the middle. I'm going to say the same thing I said probably 6 years ago when I didn't make people very happy. He's the middle finger for people who are mad at everyone else. That's what that laugh was. That's it. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't even think the people laughing. And I think it's just disturbing. It's disturbing that is your standard. He's a foam middle finger. That's it. There is no substance. And if you tell me the other guy's drooling, I'm going to say absolutely the other guy's drooling. The drooling guy has more substance. Then, of course, let's just pretend for a second you were an educated female, reasonable woman trying to hang on and say, I'm going to give this whole thing a chance, and then this is the point that you're out.
Criminal. And just so you know,
it's not that you can negotiate to take the documents with you.
Can I tell you? In 50 boxes.
But that's the question that investigators have, I think, is why you held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
They cheered. There you go. They cheered. They cheered. That's it. Take that 3 seconds and there you go. That's it. They cheered. A person who's maintaining their cool, maintaining their composure, said, I asked a question, man. That's the thing that we should all want that of anyone asking a question, of anybody who wants any elected office. I asked you the question. Answer it. Answer it. And they cheered when he called her nasty. Cheered. They didn't cheer that she was pressing him to just answer. Just finish a sentence, you buffoon. They cheered. There's the election. They cheered when he didn't answer and just called her a name. And at that moment, I suspect any thinking female said, I'm out.